Hello and welcome to Phantom Forces Weapon Spotlight, a series where I give a more subdued and informative look on the weapons of Phantom Forces. In this episode, I'll be covering the Intervention. The Intervention is a bolt-action sniper rifle unlocked by default at rank 0. It deals 90 damage up to 150 studs and falls off to 80 damage by 250 studs. It fires at 45 RPM with a 1.11 times body multiplier and a 3 times head multiplier. The muzzle velocity is 3200 studs per second, and the penetration depth is 4 studs. Here is the shots to kill table. It has, I'd say, low to medium recoil, and it holds 7 rounds in the magazine with 42 rounds in reserve of .408 JTAC rounds. The reload speed is 3 seconds and the empty reload speed is 5.9 seconds. It has an 11 walk speed, which is quite slow, and then also quite slow 9 aim speed. The Intervention is a heavy, bolt-action sniper rifle that very much excels at long range. It has one of the longest one-shot body shot range outside of those super heavy 50 BMG anti-material rifles, coming in at 150 studs. This makes the Intervention extremely reliable and consistent even for sniper rifles. It's not very often that you fight over 150 studs unless you're sitting way in the back. The rifle is really heavy though in terms of bolt actions go, as it has the slowest walk speed, not counting 50 BMG rifles, and the combination of that slow walk speed and lots of range really gives the Intervention a more passive long range playstyle. You should ideally move up a bit to get into your comfortable one-shot body shot range, but generally hang back and don't play too aggressively, as you absolutely do not want to be caught with your pants down at medium range or close range. Overall, the Intervention is a high A tier weapon and maybe even S tier by some people's standards. Moving on to conversions and attachments, there is a lot here that can help the Intervention with its shortcomings. The .375 JTAC conversion is a lighter ammo type with less range. It now deals 90 damage up to 90 studs and falls off to 80 damage by 200 studs. The fire rate is increased to 56 RPM, and the body and head multipliers remain unchanged. The muzzle velocity is increased to 3800 studs per second, and the penetration depth is reduced to 2 studs. Here is the shots to kill table. It has the same recoil and reload speed, but it now holds 7 rounds in the magazine with 42 rounds in reserve of .375 JTAC rounds. The walk speed is increased to 11.48 and the aim speed is also increased to 10. This conversion is quite interesting as it fills 2 completely separate roles. On the one hand, this gives the Intervention more maneuverability, just a tiny bit, which is still great for small maps like Metro or Bazaar, where you don't need as much range to one-shot body-shot people anyway. On the other hand, this increases your muzzle velocity, also making it a tiny bit better at long range, if you have good aim. Plus, the fire rate increase is universally good. So yeah, I recommend taking this for either small maps, or you could run it all the time if you have really good aim, which I don't, so I don't use it often. Anyway, A tier. Removing the stock increases your handling speed at the cost of increased Z displacement and reduced recoil recovery. Removing the stock is highly valuable on the Intervention, just like other bolt action rifles. This gives you some much needed speed to help move around or react to flanks with pretty much 0 downsides, as recoil in general is a non-issue on bolt actions. It's going to take you longer to cycle the bolt than recover from recoil anyway. CQB barrel drastically increases your walk speed and aim speed at the cost of range, added spread, minimum damage, and muzzle velocity. Here is the shots to kill table. Hey, do you like to live life on the edge? Are you unhinged? Then the CQB barrel is for you. You move much quicker with this on, but the downside is that, in sniper rifle standards, you have no range. Plus, you have spread. This barrel turns the intervention on its head and makes it only really usable, not viable, at close to medium range. Well, if you have a death wish and want to use bolt actions up close for fun, sure, take it, you'll have a blast. Outside of that, never take this attachment. A bolt action has no business being aggressive in close range because you have A, no fire rate, and B, no room for error. The spread also kills your long range performance. Finally, as a bonus bit, please never take straight pull bolt, it's a crutch and it makes the gun worse. And that concludes this episode of Phantom Forces Weapon Spotlight. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel as it helps a lot. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Oh my god!